Yo, hello, my name is Wangani, and today we'll be reviewing Serendipity's Embrace. I had been hinting over the last couple of videos that I'm releasing that more reviews would be coming. At this current point in time, reviews come as I watch things and as I have time to go and see things or review things that I like. It's not going to happen every single day. It's not going to happen every single week. But when I have an opportunity to watch something, to finish something, and to give you my thoughts about it, I always will. Or at least I'll try to, if I think it's interesting enough for people to see, or just for those who are kind of like more interested in the category to know about. Now today we'll be reviewing the K-drama Serendipity's Embrace, which has been airing over the last, I think it's only been 4 weeks. The main thing that a lot of people aren't used to nowadays are short K-dramas. Serendipity's embraces only 8 episodes. If you are an avid K-drama watcher, you'll know that most K-dramas are about 16, 14 if they're being weird, but 16 is pretty much the average of like a long normal sized K-drama. So Serendipity's Embrace is 8 episodes, and therefore kind of comes to be known as short. And when you watch it, I think one of the first reviews once it ends is that it feels short. So the first, I'm not going to go episode by episode, but the first thing we're kind of going to talk about today is just the cast with this one. Now, this show stars Chae Jung Hyuk as the main character here. I think he's a financial planner or an accountant or something like that. I just know he's good at math. That's pretty much what they keep hinting at throughout the show. He's good at math. He went to the US. He came back. Upon coming back, he coincidentally met his childhood crush. His childhood crush, who is Kim So Hyun in the show, is I think an anime artist. Well, you don't want to call it anime artist. It's kind of more like cartoon, so an animation producer, I think, is actually the term that they've been using throughout the show. And she's kind of trying to still figure out that world. Yes, she's like a little bit more known in her industry, but like she's still, as much as she's a vital piece of the company, she's not necessarily fulfilled in the things that she has done or will be doing. We're not very sure in regards to her status, but she does seem to have a little bit of a rocky relationship with her boss. Now, the synopsis of this show is kind of like these two met in high school, and the main lead's best friend had a crush on who they call Kang Hu-young in the show, basically. And the main lead's number one prerogative was to try and get these two together. She was running on the track to give him letters. She was going to his class. She was annoying him at basically every occurrence just to say, hey, these are my best friend's feelings. Come on, you need to take some consideration. And he just wouldn't say anything, or he'd reject her pretty much every single time, or just do nothing about it, right? But little did she know basically that he always liked her, or at least liked her the entire time while growing up. And this was like the type of thing like where from the guy's perspective, it can be a little bit annoying if the girl you like is telling you to like somebody else, you know. So that's kind of like the synopsis of the show in the past, and then you flash back to a couple of years later and they meet coincidentally, and the show kind of picks up from there. Now, of course, with any K-drama, and this is just maybe more so of a K-drama trope, there are obstacles along the way. Some of the obstacles presented in this one is he lives in the US. So how is this going to work once his life just ups and picks up and goes back, when he picks up and goes back to the US, right? Another thing is the girl, or the main lead, I think her name in the show is Lee Hong-ju, has a bad history with just relationships in general. So she's always been a large skeptic as to how relationships work. Well, not necessarily how relationships work, more so been a skeptic on romance in general. Like, she had her bad experience with ironically the writer of her favorite book, and she just didn't want to go back into a relationship at any point in time. So anytime anybody ever made any advances on her, she'd kind of shut it down before there was ever a chance for anything to happen. So you can imagine how this guy who's re-meeting his childhood crush, his technical first love, is going to go about trying to win her back. And you can imagine how this girl, who's never really seen the dude in that light, or at least that's what the show led us to believe, who's never seen the dude in that light, is kind of going to treat this girl. Now, as an overall review, without kind of sharing any spoilers, it's it's a complicated show. I think it is very fast paced. This is kind of the problem when you're used to something being 16 episodes, you're used to having a season, you're used to the story developing a little bit more, and it's kind of compacted into these 8 episodes. So you feel like you get every arc or every development quite quickly. I used to watch K dramas where the main characters wouldn't even look at each other like that in that light until like episode 8, right? We had action in like episode 3, so this is like it's not necessarily a problem. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more fast paced, if you're looking for something that kind of gets to the point a lot quicker, I think this will be the type of show for you. I think this is the type of show where you like. I watched it week by week, so when it was coming out, so two episodes per week. I think this is something you could definitely get done in a weekend binge. You could enjoy it. I do think that there's good comedy aspects. The side characters in this show, I think, played by Kim Da-som and Lee Won-jung. I think that's the guy. I think he was in Hierarchy as well, from what I saw. The male best friend, he's hilarious. The guy has, if I'm being honest, no story whatsoever. He's there for comedic relief. He's just a dude, right? Like he's just trying to live his life, run his chicken shop, and all these people are just causing him problems, right? The female best lead, of course, the second lead, sorry, of course, goes through the arc of re-meeting this guy that she had a crush on all throughout high school, seeing him again in the future, and the best friend trying to set them up again now, right? So she's now trying to go through the process of, oh, how do I go about meeting him again? How do I go about relationships? But she's more known to have tried out and tried things out, meaning when another opportunity arises for her to try something out with another person, she's gonna take it. So the side characters in the show are they're not well developed, because I don't think this is the type of show that has the time to develop the side characters as well, but they are ever present. Like, this is not a show that kind of feels like it lives in a bubble around the main characters. You don't feel like you see too much of them, but it definitely feels at times where there's like a plot hole missing, that you're just going to have to live with the fact that that plot hole is missing, if that makes sense. So just in regards to the characters, I think the characters were well cast, in the sense like the two main actors seemed like they had good chemistry. I saw some clips of them doing like, interviews and stuff in the background as well. They were a little bit awkward off camera, but I think that kind of serves the purpose of the show, is that there will be that little bit of awkwardness between these two characters in the show, because she's never really liked him, he's always liked her but never said anything about it. So that's kind of a good way for them to build up the same type of feelings within the show. I think that's it in regards to the characters. Now, in regards to the story, the obstacles are probably the thing that I have the main problem with. As much as the obstacles are clear and obvious, and they tell you that, oh, this guy's going to be a problem, or this lady is going to be a problem in regards to these two people getting together, you never really feel that way. Like this is not a scenario where you feel like the main character is ever going to lose. Like, you don't feel like like sometimes you're like, oh, okay, they could get together, but one of them will pass away. That's just how some K-drama tropes are. But like this, there was no point where you're like, oh, they're not ending up together at the end of this, right? Even though like one of the main reasons, one of the male leads, I don't want to call him a male lead, one of the male interests has returned and is supposed to be stirring up feelings and emotions in this girl's life, but his return, I guess their breakup was just so bad that she just can't look at him in that way anymore. There was maybe an episode or maybe 30 seconds in an episode where you're like, oh, maybe she might do something dumb again, but after that you didn't really feel it. And towards the end of the show, this is where we're kind of going to get into a little bit of spoilers, so if you want to skip out and leave my review until like the end, that's perfectly fine. But like, it kind of gets to a point where at the end of the show, they do one last hurrah at trying to break these two people up, and when that actually happens, it's like, okay, I see how you're gonna try and do this, but the way the show ends, oh my gosh, right? I've been annoyed at endings of shows before. don't get me wrong, I've been very annoyed at some shows ending. However, the way this show ends and the way that the story leaves us, you get no clear fact as to whether that obstacle, that last hurrah, was dealt with or not. You can't tell if the main couple wins. You can, I mean, they make it obvious that they're happy, right? That's what they do. They make it obvious that these two people are good and they'll deal with whatever problem that comes in front of them, but they don't tell you what happens, and therefore it leaves you, I guess, waiting for a little bit more, or just looking for somebody, even for a narrator, to just go, oh, they lived happily ever after at the end of the day. But you don't get that, and that doesn't happen quite often. I don't want to say that it ended on a cliffhanger, because it didn't. This is not a show that's needs a second season on the basis of the way that the show ended, but this is also not a show that you're going to like from a story perspective if what you're looking for is this happened, this is how it ended. Because what it feels like going through the show is, this may have happened, this definitely happened, this looks like how it ended, and you can guess at the rest of what is going on, which is not what a lot of people are looking for when it comes to watching TV shows. So in regards to an 8-episode K-drama, it's an okay K-drama. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 or anything like that. That could be a whole new video. I just thought of that. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 or anything like that. I would put it as what I would call a pastime K-drama. You know, if you have nothing else to watch, if you have a little bit of extra time in the week, put an episode on, see how you feel about it, see if you can continue it, and then maybe look at something else. That's just my opinion. I do think the main characters did well to carry the show in the way that they did. I do think that we got enough for us to say, oh yeah, it was a good K-drama in the end, but I don't think we got enough to say, hey man, I'd recommend this to all of my friends. So I think I'm gonna leave it there with that review. I don't wanna like leave this kind of saying things a little bit too harsh, because I don't think this was a harsh review of a show. I think this was just a more realistic review of what I thought and what occurred in the show. I know I may sound a little bit vague from the way that I'm speaking. I only do it that way because with a show where so little happened, everything that I say feels like a spoiler. So it's one of those where I'm gonna leave with this and just say, go try it out for yourself. I think it's a good try. It's one of those where one person could absolutely love it, another person could absolutely hate it, and I think that's the difference maker for a lot of K-dramas. So I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what I should review next. Let me know what K-dramas are out and are good. Let me know what shows are out and are good. I'm just about to start watching something else. You may see a video about it, so I'm not gonna spoil what it is just yet. You may see it in one of my streams, or at least me talk about it in one of my streams. I'm pretty sure an anime review should be coming soon to the channel, so let me know what you guys think. I always appreciate everything that you guys do for me, everything that you say, every DM that I've received about my YouTube channel so far. I appreciate it. So as it currently stands, I've got nothing else for you today. Appreciate you showing up and you listening. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed that video. Otherwise, have a good one. Deuces.